So in 2022, I almost quit YouTube. I was a new creator back in 2022. I felt I had no business really being here in this space. There were a lot of things that made me leery of beginning a YouTube channel. I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into, but here we are. Now, here's why I almost quit. Being new, I had never edited a video, never recorded a video, never done a voiceover, never laid the music behind the voiceover or an edit, right? These are all things I had never done. I had barely even painted or been artistic for a very, very long time. I dug out the creative in me deep down, buried somewhere, that came on out back in 2022. But until then, it stayed dormant for a long, long time. Now, I had never done the things I thought that were necessary to be successful as a YouTuber. Now, granted, I didn't know anything, so who am I to know what's success and what's not successful? I just didn't know. Not having these skills, I think, was almost to my benefit, because I didn't know anything but have some experience in other things around in my life. I was going to give it a try. I decided to continue painting, continue learning how to edit, YouTubing things and how to create video differently, how to find tracks and software and this and that to do this particular weird thing we call YouTube. Now, I recorded almost every video, every painting. I've recorded almost every painting I've ever done in the last 2.5 years for the entire world to see, and I'm happy to have done it. However, in having said that, in that first little while, in the first few months, I could feel myself getting frustrated with a few things. I was a smaller channel. I was getting low view counts. I had small subscriber counts. I wasn't growing like I thought maybe a developed or established channel might. And I don't know why that bugged me so much, but it did. And now, in and around the same time, I was thinking of just kind of packing it all in and just stopping altogether, because I wasn't seeing the growth I had assumed I was going to get. Again, why would I assume any growth based on my experience having had none? Now, here's where I found I think maybe things changed a little. As I was considering quitting, I thought, no, I'll keep at it. Why not just keep going? And again, I was almost challenged too by some other creators who saw my frustration and wanted me to continue putting out the work I was doing. Because although they were in the minority, they seemed to enjoy what I was doing. So I was getting good feedback, although limited, from certain people. Now, it's really cool to be acknowledged by creators and other people who are strangers on the internet, if anything, right? But still, it was building blocks to go from what I was to what I currently am, which is still a smaller channel, which I'm building. Now, back then, when I was still looking to build my channel up into, something bigger than it was back then, here's where things get really weird with me and my channel and my experience. So in my 6th video, which was not quite 2 full months into recording, editing, learning all the things, learning all the nuances that YouTube has to offer when you're still a rookie, my 6th video, on about week 8 or 10 of my channel existing, began to accumulate views that I had never ever seen or thought I'd receive ever. I was getting hundreds and hundreds of views every hour for about a month. And I didn't know what I did. I thought I broke something. I didn't upload for 2 weeks because I was afraid I would break it. As silly as that sounds. When you're newer and you just don't know anything, you don't realize that, hey, the algorithm could grab Tony's 6th video and just shoot it to the moon and freak him out and see what happens. that's what happened. So in my little journey back then, way back when, I think had that not happened, I may have decided to just pack up my gear and stop altogether. I felt it was kind of a sign, I guess, that if you are beginning to be recognized for a certain skill, even I didn't know I had, because really I was still learning how to paint. I did something that particular video that resonated with a lot of people, and it was a very cool sequence of events. Being scared it happened, acknowledging it happened, but also being very appreciative of the fact that so many people decided to begin to follow me in my little journey, that I felt I needed to keep going and keep recording. Now, as that video continued to gain momentum, and I kid you not, the stats were just ridiculous for the first 3 or 4 or 5 weeks in a row. I didn't understand it. It's still now, 2.5 years later, one of my best performing videos on my whole channel. Of all my long form content, 130 videos roughly, as of time of this recording, the sixth video is maybe my best performing video of all time. Stats wise, ratios wise, any number you want to look up, that's my best one. And now, after I suppose the initial shock of letting that wear off, the shock of that something different had happened, I wanted to keep going. How do I get better? How do I create more? How do I improve on skill set? There was so much more to learn, and I decided to put my foot down and learn those skills. Now, thinking back on my experience so far, I never expect that a video go viral. I don't like the word viral. If my views get a few thousand views, fantastic. If they get 120, that's okay. This is for me to create, you to enjoy, whoever you may be. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. If 4 people watch this, I appreciate it. It's for me to make, you to consume, and hopefully enjoy. I was also at the same time not really realizing I was conquering this weird self-doubt of me thinking I didn't belong here. Now, it wasn't that one video accumulatively that told me I was deserving of being a YouTuber, having a channel. This is my space. I made it kind of what I wanted to be. And I realize now that that 6th video kind of pushed me just a little, gave me a bit of a nudge, and told me that I could keep going and experience new levels of, I've experienced so many things, levels of everything. People I've met, all of the relationships I've developed in person, online, across the world. It's been an experience that I don't think I would have ever had a chance to experience if I hadn't kept going. So for that, I'm very thankful. I think too that had I stopped in those first few months, I would have looked at myself as just another YouTuber that tried and failed because things got hard, things got weird, and I just didn't know what to do. I also realized, in a funny way, we all have now and then, I think, this level of self-doubt or reflection of something inside of ourselves when we don't think we deserve. It's the imposter syndrome of what you think you deserve or what you don't think you deserve. I believe that having experienced what I have so far, and by the way, in my 2.5 years in doing this particular thing, in my spare time, yes, I have a full-time job and a family and all the other things that come with, day to day. I am so glad I kept going, and I'm so glad that I can contribute to my channel and hopefully keep making things everyone enjoys out there. Because for me, it's a bit of an escape into something else. And I'm super glad I kept going, because I'm not sure what I'd be doing without, my time with this channel? I would have to say, in a weird kind of way, that YouTube changed my life a little. Had I not continued, I think I would have been, like I mentioned, disappointed in why I didn't keep going, but I'm glad I did. But it changed kind of the trajectory of what I was doing, what I was maybe had planned on doing, not planned on doing. I'll never know because I chose this route, and having chose this route, I think has offered me different opportunity than I would have had before if I just stopped altogether. Now, also, as a smaller channel still, I think of myself as a smaller channel. Yes, I have the people numbers to reflect what I have current day in July 2024, but I'm still new, still learning. I have a lot of things to learn. In terms of art, I am just scratching the surface of what I have learned as skill and what I think I'm good at, what I can improve on. And if you are a creative that is considering stopping, maybe let this be a message to you that I believe you should keep going and that I think you should keep going. So let this be a nudge to have you just, again, put your foot down, your pedal down, keep going. Maybe your sixth video becomes like my sixth video and leapfrogs you into this weird space you're not comfortable with, but being comfortable isn't always good. Maybe that's in part why I enjoy doing this too, because it is uncomfortable to a degree where you aren't certain of all of it, but you're willing to give it a shot. And I've got a friend also who has a saying, or a couple friends have sayings that it's all data, right? So every decision you make, every decision you decide not to make, it's all just information and data you're accumulating to make bigger and better decisions going forward. If you do this, X happens. If you did that, Z happens. It's all information to make the same or different choices later on. I'm glad I chose this route because, again, the community in YouTube specifically has treated me so well. I'm not sure where I'd be without all the people who surround me, all of the good people I've met through the markets I've been in, on all the social medias, all the platforms. You've been fantastic. I just don't know where I'd be if I hadn't kept going. Now, all that to say, anyone who is a creative, who is a smaller channel, still building, keep going, keep pushing the boundaries of what you're comfortable with, because you never know when that sixth video will click with the world to see. And it could change your life, I promise. I didn't plan to become a YouTuber 2+ years ago. I had no direction, no guidance, no real desire at the time to, either make a channel, create an art channel. I was just a guy who went to work day to day and had a few hobbies after work that filled my time. Now, once I found acrylic pouring, I found a thing I was good at and that I enjoyed and other people enjoyed. And all of a sudden, you make this small little family. And it's really cool to be a part of a community that embraces that. And it's my feelings of thanks and of gratitude are so high. I appreciate every one of you. So to wrap this up, I suppose, if you are considering quitting, let this be maybe a message to you. Hopefully this finds you well and finds you on time, that you don't quit, you keep going, you keep making steps to get better, learn the things you need to learn, develop the skills, habits, behaviors that push you into the next thing you decided to do. And again, who knows? Your sixth video could be like my sixth video. You could be the person in 3, 4, 5 years telling their community how that particular video impacted you the way it did and why you kept creating. So, with all that said, thank you to all of the people and subscribers and humans around the world who enjoy what I do. Thank you for being there week in, week out. I'm not sure where I'd be without all of your support, so thanks for being there. And in terms of painting, I'll be back soon enough with that, and we will catch you again in the next one.